I'm Senior Sergeant Sam Gilpin, Response Manager based in Levin. My father is Greg Gilpin, who retired as an Inspector in New Zealand Police in November 2011 after serving 46 years. He worked on a number of significant disasters, including the sinking of the Wahine in 1968 and the Russian cruise liner Mikhail Lermontov in the Sounds in 1986, and also Sprott House fire in 1969. He also went to Mount Erebus in 1979 as one of the disaster victim identification team tasked with recovering bodies from the wreckage of the Air New Zealand DC-10 with the loss of 257 people.
On the 29th of November 1979, Dad and 10 other officers flew to the Antarctica on the day after the plane crashed into the side of Mount Erebus. At the time, he was a sergeant based at the former Taranaki Street Police Station in Wellington and had been an officer for 14 years.
So what was your first impression when you arrived at the crash site?
Well, arriving at the crash site wasn't easy. The pilot of the helicopter, the American helicopter, couldn't find the site, and we flew around for quite some time until there was a clearing in the mist and cloud, and he went straight down and told us to jump out onto the side of the mountain, which we did. And we had suitcases of all things with us, which had the body recovery DBI equipment in them, and they slid off down the mountain and we slid off after them. But once we made our way back up to the campsite, which had been set up by face rescue personnel, New Zealand face rescue personnel, we walked over the scene, inspected the scene, and it was just a scene of utter destruction, both human and wreckage. It was hard to believe that an aircraft of that size could disintegrate into such small pieces. Nothing really could prepare you for that sort of devastation and destruction that we saw on that scene.
The conditions which they had trained for and had guides for were still treacherous. Crevasses, twisted bits of metal, snowstorms, wind chill of -40 degrees. Despite the horrific conditions, all they wanted at the end of the shift was a cold drink. But even that wasn't simple. They had to boil cans of orange juice as they'd frozen solid.
The painstaking work of body recovery began about 2 a.m. on Tuesday, 4th of December. Each body had to be chipped and dug out of the ice and snow. They were marked in position, photographed, and all details recorded before being removed for later return by helicopter to McMurdo. It was painstaking work and hugely significant.
Not a day goes by when he doesn't think of Erebus at some point, and he acknowledges now that to a certain extent it did change his life. Dad acknowledges it did affect our family too. We were always aware of the amazing work Dad has done, and we are very proud of this, and he was a real asset to the New Zealand Police.